All right, beautiful people. It is lovely to see you. I am Andrew Walker, and I will be DMing this Madness Table 100th episode celebratory murder mystery one-shot with the incomparable William Johnston, Brendan Proal, and Samantha Conklin. We'll be taking a little break from the underdark this week, as we're going to take a peek into a setting I like to call Interstellar Eberron. It is the wonderful world of Keith Baker's Eberron wrapped up into the wild space of Spelljammer. So we'll be in space. Yes. We find ourselves today opening our scene on a chunk of obsidian barely distinguishable from the inky black of space. As we pull a little closer to the city-sized boulder, we note that this is scarred by a vein of purplish gray rock. Pulling a little closer still, we'll see that this mining colony of Blackrise is nestled along this amethyst intrusion atop a mound of rock and metal. This colony is fairly established, has all the basics you might need. Temple, some homes, a modest but proficient spelljamming shipyard, and of course, a tavern. And like any proper adventure, we begin in this tavern. Golden Dragon Inn, what's the word for when things are franchise? Golden Dragon is franchise 178-4, and that's where our tale begins. Drifting dulcimer notes escape the sturdy door of this Golden Dragon Inn, the premier inn tavern of Blackrise, and also the only one. It's beginning to fill with local patrons, but tucked in the back are three figures who are certainly not locals. Yes, these figures sharing a booth, they look like a spell-jamming crew, or at least the parts of one, whiling away their days while their ship gets worked on over in the yard. They'll be on their second day from on shore leave, shall we say, and they're looking for a little bit of excitement, something to do, maybe looking a little bit bored. But let's take a closer look at who's around the table. Sam, can you start us off with a little introduction?
Sure, yeah. Sitting not in the booth, but on the table itself is a very small, winged alien creature that stats-wise is a fairy, but skinning to be more alien in look. If anyone has seen the Gremlins movie, that's exactly what they look like. But instead of wings, their ears are these like big, floppy enough to be their wings, and then their eyes are this like huge marble shape and completely black, and their face has these like it almost looks, if they were to hide in the grass, you wouldn't be able to distinguish them from the greenery around them. They are completely naked aside from the hair on their body, which is in spurts. And they wear a small pouch on a like belt around themselves. And they are sitting and they've got two small hands around a tankard of ale, and they just kind of dunk their face into it once in a while to take a sip.
Beautiful. And for the listeners at home, what is the class that you're playing?
Yes. The character is Jib, and they are a cleric.
Beautiful. All right. Brendan, what do we have sitting on the other side of the table?
Sure. So, sort of standing on the edge of the table, off the edge of the table, not physically on the table like our friend Jim, is a fairly average size, if not a little tall, sort of on the 6'2" to 6'4" range of things. A brown cloaked figure, not many belongings to them. Their brown cloak covers most of their body and goes over their head. They have a like metallic staff sort of quarterstaff looking weapon, and a mask covers their face that is split into two halves, representing each side is one of the comedy tragedy masks of you.
Nice.
Just very stoically and patiently, doesn't seem upset by the waylay, simply existing in space.
Excellent. And now, our resident dungeon master, William, what do you have at the table for us?
Kind of, you would think perhaps lounging in one of these seats or kind of booth-like areas is this kind of ragged cloak figure. However, they have these slightly longer arms that carry like a series of old-looking bangles and bracelets. And the most noticeable thing about them is that their entire body glows in this pinkish purplish material. As you see, they are changing their form and shape. However, what appear to be two hands are always keeping kind of a decent hold on a nice wine glass of sorts. In what would appear to be a somewhat humanoid face is three kind of slightly brighter masses that kind of represent eyes of a sort. And as the glass gets lifted up to their mouth, you see just like all of a sudden a hole appear, and it gets poured in, and it just gloops into everything else of the form. And this is Polymiere, the plasmoid sorcerer.
Beautiful.
Polymiere. Did we get Brendan's name? Sorry.
Oh, I don't believe so. So this is Liam Stirstaff, the changeling monk.
Ooh, a changeling, Trixie. And I feel like everything about your character's description could have been in quotes. It has eyes and a mouth and limbs, as your limited imagination might say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. Well, while you are drinking, enjoying each other's company, sitting stoically or less than stoically on or around the table, you notice the halfling Hilda, who's been taking care of you guys. She runs the inn. She is a member of one of the dragon-marked houses of Eberron, and they have franchising rights to the Golden Dragon Inn, and she has the a hospitality focused house that she hails from. A common sight for you guys as you've been traversing the many systems in the area on your various goings-on, but you see that the door kind of bangs open, and an older man in blue robes kind of bustles through and talks to her, and you see her point over in your direction. And this man, he comes towards you. He has human features, kind of like a rusty gray beard, and kind of like tired eyes that are very alert at the moment. And he kind of huddles up to your table. Oh, hello. My name is Sten. I'm one of the priests at the temple across the way. I hear you three are members of a spelljamming crew. Is that so?
Oui, it is.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
What can we do for you, Stan?
Well, I hate to impose, but we've had a bit of a... and he blotches or he mops his sweaty brow. I have a bit of a situation here over at the temple. I'm wondering, do any of you have any experience investigating curious matters?
Well, I do not want to speak for the group, but I think we are very enterprising, and like all of a sudden some kind of mustache appears on the face and they start stroking it with a tentacle. But I think we might be able to help you.
Oh, please, my small friend, were you about to hopefully also say yes, please?
Yeah, are you saying that it's over at the temple?
Oh, God. Yes, if you would very quietly
God.
follow me, that would be great.
But of course, Dan.
I don't think it's a temple to Dol-Ra, though, right?
No, though we are actually a temple of Oron. We are also members, as you know, of the Sovereign Host, so we're all playing for the same team here. And he gives you I guess like a collegial slap on the shoulder.
Okay, got it.
Just like a shuttlecock takes off. Is that what happened?
It's just like,
yeah.
and you would well know that of the Sovereign Host, those are kind of the traditionally good aligned deities that your own god Dol-Ra is part of.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we're of a duty here to go help out, huh?
I don't think there is anything holding us back. Liam, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Against your initial statement, you seem to be happy to speak for us, so let us away.
I'm sorry, I cannot make up my mind.
It's 3 out of 3. All right, you're gonna follow me. And he quickly pays your tab and hustles you out. And as he makes his way across the across Blackrise, you can see some of the other buildings that are around the way in kind of this crater that's home to this mining colony. There's the market, which you've already been to a few times. There's a blacksmith shop, the repair dock where your ship is currently. There's a fairly large residential district, and also the entrance to the mining area as well as a few sundry buildings, the temple, the inn, and a larger manor house towards the edge of our town here. As he makes his way across, so this kind of thing very rarely happens, but there's been a death in one of our cells. Again, such a small community. We also serve as the law enforcement here, and I've never seen anything like it. I think it's a bit over our heads. I'm not sure. And he gets a little closer. I'm not sure if Vincent agrees. You'll meet him in a moment, but I think we could really use a fresh pair of eyes. Or I guess in your case, friend, whatever the word is for 3 of a kind.
Do not trouble yourself about it. Eyes is fine.
Why not make it weird, man?
Thank you, Jib. Listen, why would Vincent have a problem with this viewpoint or decision?
Well, technically, it's my call. I am the head of the temple, and I see to our guests, both those who come to pray and those who need to be held for their own protection, or the protection of others on Blackrise. But Vincent, I should say, he is the investigative wing. I shall you say, he's a retired paladin, and he usually splits his time between trading new acolytes and helping out with local law enforcement, which thankfully there's not a ton of. It's mostly, a tavern fight here or there, or some small local disagreements, but over these last few days we've had a murder, and then a maiming, and then now 2 deaths in custody, so it's... I thought I'm out of my depth.
Yeah, sounds like you gotta hire some people.
Well, yeah, I'm hiring all of you. And I will pay, by the way. We are, a fairly prosperous mining community. We have collections we can draw from.
That is wonderful. Curious to know that that all of this has occurred in the last few days, and yet we have not heard about it.
Oh yes, well, I'm sure Vincent can fill you in. I'm not really privy to all of the decision making, but the murder was about a week ago now, and then 3 days ago, someone attacked Georgiana, the blacksmith. A nasty business, but both very quickly caught. Vince is very, very efficient. Just as I came to bring these 2 prisoners, you'll see their cells shortly. When I came to give them their evening meal, they were dead.
You said that was 3 days ago?
No, that was like like 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Georgiana was 3 days ago, yes?
Yeah, yes, exactly. But would you like to take a look? And you guys are now kind of arriving at the front of the temple. You see, it's nicer than most of the the domestic buildings here. There's a nice slate slope to it, and the holy symbol that hangs over the entry doors is a big blue gauntleted fist. And you, Jib, as you are another cleric of the Sovereign Host, this is a temple of Auron, who is both the patron of law and of lore. So while there are many spellcasters that play to Auron, there are also quite a few kind of establishment figures who also, and they seem to be doing double duty as religious center and apparently law enforcement.
Okay.
Those are exactly the two things you want mixed.
Yeah, I can think of
Good
no
separation
problems.
of church and state here. I like
No
it.
consequences to this.
Yes. But he brings you inside. There is a small but fairly well appointed worship area with pews around an altar. But he brings you towards the back, and back here it's just more unadorned, more stone passageways. And there is a group of men and women around the back. There's only one cell here, and there's a group staying in front of it. There's one older man in kind of silver and blue armor, kind of classic male pattern baldness, and just a ponytail hanging by a thread around the back, which you can see because he's pacing back and forth, kind of talking down to what is clearly some novices. They're wearing little blue robes, and they have wear probably blunted short swords at their waist, and they're standing at very rigid attention. I can't believe you let this happen on our watch. Oh, I'm still he's just ranting and raving. But then as soon as he sees you, he kind of quiets down. He's like, "Oh, I guess this is the help you're bringing against in." Yes, this is Liam, Polly, and Jib, and they'll be helping the investigation for us. My friends, this is Vincent, and the novices. They are the investigative and, for the most part, and the law enforcement ring here at the temple, and for the whole community of Blackrise.
Yes, pleasure to meet you.
I'm sure, yes. But you could please take a look around if that's what's called for. I'm here to answer any questions I can tell you right up front. And this is Vincent talking. They're two old men. I only have one old man voice. The burlier sounding old man, no one got in or out. I can tell you that. My novices, they're still in training, but they're keen. And they say that no one came in, and I believe them. And I look over, and they're not kids, but they're probably in their teens. They're very devout teens. But they have a vaguely trustworthy air about them.
Does it make you feel insecure that strangers have been called in to do your job?
Absolutely not. That is ridiculous. Please roll for insight.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, yeah, I'll do the roll first.
Okay. Insight. That is a. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I rolled natural.
Not
You
good
fool.
for me.
We rolled digital today.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but I rolled so much better on the dice.
It'd always be like that. What's your total there, Will? Are you a natural 9?
I'm a natural 9 with +2, so only an 11.
All right, so 11 of 14. Would you like to roll as well, Jib? Or are you
Yeah.
passing?
Sorry, I didn't think I was rolling, but
Nope.
19.
Well, look at that. You all get a sense that he is not thrilled that you're there. That's a Jib and Liam. He is very annoyed that Sten went for outside help. He thinks he could have done this job. You also as he's been talking, he really does think that the novices, he trusts them. You might be a little hard on them, but he does believe their account that no one got in or out.
Can I very quickly interrupt that as we're all kind of seeing or talking to Vincent here? Polly is going to kind of almost slither up. They've only got like one large lower body as they kind of move over and try to take on much more of a humanoid appearance from like the waist up. And they actually reach in and they pull out a copper piece, and they're going to kind of like flick it to one of the novices and say, "Could you perhaps a copper for your thoughts?" And with that is going to cast Detect Thoughts. And the copper piece is the material component. So for up to a minute, I can focus my mind on any one creature that I can see within 30 feet of me, and I can initially learn the surface thoughts of the creatures, and then as an action, I can shift and attempt to probe, which they will, if I do that, they have to make a wisdom saving throw, but then I can learn far more than surface stuff.
Absolutely.
And if you probe, they know you're in there.
Yeah. If they succeed the check.
Yeah. All right. So, are you focusing first on the novice? Now
I'm doing kind of I'm like going to the first one that I flicked, and like as things are kind of being set back, I imagine Polly's attention is going to try to like switch between them all kind of quickly to see if there's anything that quickly stands out.
So you get into the head of the novice, and you kind of get like a flash of their memory, and yeah, they were. You see like this vision in their head, which they're like kind of replaying because Vincent's like on their case, of them just like hours just standing in front of this, like not like close to the door, but like way down the hall, just like staring down and no one coming in or out. And then you see Sten come by with like a tray of food, make it halfway down, and then like drop it and like scream for the keys, and like kind of like their mind gets like turmoil at that point because they were like, oh god, what's going on?
Okay, so they weren't like, they didn't have physical eyes on the cell. They were like looking down the hall towards it.
Yep.
Okay, cool, interesting.
And then you pop over to. You're going to scan each one of the other people as well.
Well, I don't want to hog here. I was just gonna very briefly kind of, I imagine like look between them all and be like, did anyone happen to be quite close to the cell?
You get a quick blip from Vincent that he thinks you look like a giant slug. No, Bart here was the closest, but he was down the hall. He said he heard talking, here and there, but nothing too wild. Until, of course, the yelling with Sten here. But yes, it was. No, that's not how he sounds. It was very scary. I walked in and it was a frightful mess. We look down the hall, and I should be like, it's a good like 100 feet back from the cell.
Got it.
Like it's a long hallway, and the novice is down at the very end. So like, there's a good chance that with your deductive powers that he might not have heard anything. But you also haven't seen inside the cell yet. You don't know what kind of a crime scene you're looking at.
Okay. Cool.
Jib will kind of fly up to Vincent and like put their hand on his shoulder and like kind of face away from Polly and Liam and everything, and Jib will just be like, hey Vincent, man, I get it, you got some like weird people coming into your space, and it might feel a little strange, but the Sovereign Host, we just got to make sure that we're getting a lot of eyes on this and really taking care of the problem. You don't got to be ashamed or anything, man.
I didn't know you were a fellow professional.
I am. I'm incredibly professional. And
can't even hold character voice.
He looks down at this little fairy, and there's like fully still like beer foam in your like hair on your body,
dripping off of the
That's
chin.
for later.
Ah, that's whiskey that went on my nose.
That's for later.
Yeah.
Art imitates life. And life imitates art.
So
And they both hurt.
And they both hurt.
Yeah.
You know, we're just gonna go in there and get a look, talk to the novices. Is there anyone else we should be talking to?
No, I mean, it was all open and shut cases. These, Chuck, he, like, points towards, like, the cell, like, these guys were obviously guilty. So, like, my work is tight on
Got
that.
it.
Polly, his work is not tight, as you get in a flash of his memory. It is tight-ish, but, you know, he's not maybe the most officious lawman around.
Yeah, sounds like this one's buttoned up, guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
no, it certainly sounds like you have it in the bag, as they like to say. Clearly, because there has been, what was it, Stan? A murder over a week ago, and then another one 3 days ago, and now these?
Yeah, I am worried for both the spiritual health of this community and also its physical survivability.
Yeah.
So, Vincent, how goes it with those investigations?
Well, yeah, there's two folks in there. There's Evelyn and this guy. He actually never gave his name, but he's the creepy one. But so Evelyn, she killed her husband on their wedding night, open and
Whoa.
shut. The father of the bride came in to see if they were ready, and she was just covering his blood, holding his heart in her hand, just like super guilty. Check.
Oh.
And you get like a quick flash, Polly, and like he was at the scene like later, but there is, you know, you see this like quick flash of a scene, this like nice, like well pointed, like wooden paneled, you know, like bedroom, and there's just blood all over the floor, with a heart that's been ripped out of someone's body.
Okay.
And the other one, well, I mean, we literally caught him in the act. He went down to the blacksmith and he cut out her tongue. Absolutely no reason for it. Absolutely no explanation. Came quietly, but he has been incredibly uncooperative.
This is the scary guy. You don't know his name?
No,
creepy
he's not from
individual.
town. He must have came in on the last like transit shuttle.
And we can see him like he's here in a cell.
Oh yeah, just take a look. Yeah, there's as you take a look over there, Jib, there is like it's not like a tiny but a small, you know, like probably a 10-foot by 15-foot stone cell. There's only one bed in there because they only usually have one person incarcerated at a time. It's a fairly small community, but there are two bodies. On the floor, there is what seems to be a woman's body, a human woman, and she is shriveled up, almost mummified. You can see like her like facial skin is like sucked tight against her bones, and her limbs are in like these contorted, painful positions. Her back arched still in death, and her mouth stopped in a silent scream. And lying kind of keeled over on top of this like stone pallet bed, there's this man in kind of like dark gray, actually like kind of monastic looking robes, and he is covered in what looks like water, and you can see like his face, he's a dwarven man, his eyes are rolled up into the back of his head, and there is still like a bit of like water dribbling, not dribbling out currently, but like dribbled out of his mouth. So it looks like he might have drowned, which doesn't make a ton of sense for a room that does not have a water source.
Okay, so you've got this buttoned up and you've said that.
Yep.
So that's clearly Evelyn and the no-name guy.
Yep.
And they were killed by...
But I think that's what you're here to figure out. 'Cause
Oh,
apparently
I
I
just
can't.
thought you had it figured out. Okay, cool.
No, yes, you said you had it buttoned up, and you don't know how they died.
Well, I am,
No,
I'm,
just checking. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm stepping back and I'm testing you guys. Yeah, I'll letting you know
This
if you're
must be
doing
a
a good
language
job.
barrier,
This
because I
is very
for
good.
sure button
Yeah.
up was different, but that
Right.
must be the
And
language.
as you guys are chatting, he's just staring daggers at Sten.
Where are you two gonna be while we take a look around? Are you gonna be here?
What? Sten kind of pipes up over Vincent. Why don't we take we'll take the novices out into the temple proper and give these three some space. How about that?
Yeah, I think we should get a good look at them before they go.
Agreed, yes. Listen, all of you, do not leave town.
We live here, so...
Oh, good, yes. No, just making sure.
Okay. And they all kind of file out, and, the sound here doesn't carry terribly well because it's kind of just like a little passageway, but, they make their way out. You can hear some, vague, chanted prayers over on the other side there.
Okay.
All right.
They didn't leave us a key into the cell, or is the cell just open for us to be able to
It
get
is
in?
currently open for you to get in there. And you said there's some pottery shards and what looks like some soup that's been swept to the side. It looks like that was the food that Sten was bringing in for them. And he went for a key once he saw because there's think of cell bars. So he just looked through the bars, saw that things were not the way they should have been, and kind of you think you actually got here pretty quick. He probably got to you within half an hour of finding the scene.
Got it.
So just to make sure we understand the full, so these were two. Well, one was definitely a murderer. The other was an assailant, potentially out for murder, that were in this cell together.
Yes.
And these are the two that are dead from mysterious means. That one looks drowned, the other shriveled up.
Yep.
Okay.
And it sounds like the murder that happened a week ago was Evelyn with her husband.
Yep.
And then the creepy guy hurt the blacksmith, which happened last week. So we definitely have a third person. Okay. Cool.
Wait. The one that happened 3 days ago was the scary guy.
Was the creepy guy, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Scary
the creepy guy
attacked
attacking the blacksmith.
Georgia.
And he cut out her tongue.
Yep.
Aside from removal of body parts, do we think these two are connected in any way?
I'll go check out the bodies.
I will assist you.
Yeah.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if there's anything that stands out about the way that both of these bodies in close proximity died in seemingly two different ways? If there's anything magical that stands out?
Let's get a perception check first, and then an Arcana check.
I think I'm assisting.
I'll do my own check
Help action.
because fuck you both.
Are you
I mean, I
helping
have
my
plus-
perception?
I have +3 perception, but yeah, you roll it, Will. You roll it.
You should roll your own. I have +0 to perception.
Oh, you have a 0?
Yeah. I have a base 10 wisdom.
Alright, I got a 10 and a 5.
Does my 22 help the situation?
It sure does, Liam. You see, Jib and Polly are really concerned about the broken soup bowls. They're trying to piece them together. This is important. And you
Why did it break on this seam?
And you walk into the cell and you take a detailed look around. And there's a few things you pick up immediately. First of all, as you're looking at Evelyn's body, you give it a pretty good look over. You don't see any wounds on her. No obvious puncture marks or anything. And like your body, like it's shriveled and convulsed in a way that gives you the idea that this was done like almost instantaneously. Like she was almost like not quick pickled, but like quick dried.
Ew.
Oh.
So like,
No, sorry. And you look over at the other body, and there's a couple things you like see as well of him. First of all, that's not water in his mouth. It's not viscous. It's too viscous, I should say. It's too thick to be just water. And you also notice that beneath his robes, you can see part of a tattoo is protruding. There's also kind of a weird smudge around, just like in one of the corners by Evelyn's body. There's a reddish smudge on the ground, and kind of like an arc that gets kind of like washed away.
Can I go check out that smudge?
Absolutely, yeah. What are you gonna do with the smudge?
roll for smudge.
I guess I just want to see, like, is it blood? Because we've yet to see any outward wounds on either of these individuals, so I would be interested to see like what this smudge is.
Yeah. Make a medicine check.
Okay.
Or a nature check, I suppose. Either one.
I will go medicine. I'm a lot better at those.
Could I try
Heyo.
a nature check? Oh, well, it might not friggin' matter.
Yeah. Well, luckily you have Liam Sturstaff on the case.
Yeah.
You bend down. That's certainly blood, Liam. Not a lot of it, though. But that is definitely blood.
Did anybody bring any collection implements? We have our first sample.
Yeah, I got a healer's kit right here, man.
Yeah. Jib,
fly over.
Jib hands you a vial.
Okay. I will collect that sample of blood.
I noticed that you're picking up some blood and putting it in a vial. Is it from... Whose blood is it?
I don't know. That's why you collect it.
Yeah, but like, I don't know how to tell that. Is there like a wound on her, or like...
Do you have a forensic lab here or
Yeah,
something?
send this to the guys back home.
Simply collecting. Maybe I want it for myself. Did you ever think of that? No, neither of them have open wounds.
So maybe we're looking for somebody else who's wounded?
Potentially. There's also, perhaps one of you would have more knowledge. There is a tattoo on the man. I've not looked at it yet.
Tattoo.
Sac
What's
tattoo.
going on there?
Yeah, Tibby, you can go up. You kind of peel back the robe a little bit, and beneath this, kind of like hairy dwarven chest, you do see that there is a kind of intricate tattoo. It's like this black dragon, like winged dragon, with the upper torso of a woman, holding a scale, like a balanced scale in one hand.
Can I roll on that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a religion or arcana check.
I could do Arcana or help.
Yeah, my religion's not that great.
I actually have both of those with a +4. Shit.
Did I roll?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you got
yeah.
nice. It's a 15 from Jib. And this makes sense. You will be fairly familiar with this, Jib. This is with a 15. You know for sure that this is like some kind of like odd variant on one of the Dark Six. This is a symbol of the Fury. So the kind of the Dark Six is the opposed faction to the Sovereign Host. All of them are revered as gods, but the Dark Six are known for being much more brutal and being opposed interest to the Sovereign Host which you serve. The Fury is the goddess of passion and revenge.
Oh, here we go. This is the Fury. It's bad juju.
It was just for my own sake. It was revenge and what, Andrew?
Passion.
Passion.
Thank you. More passion, more energy.
Oh, goodness.
Polly's like, no, stop it.
More passion. More passion.
I hate this brain. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I have a quick question about the
Yep,
Dark Six.
yep.
I'm assuming that people who practice anything related to the Dark Six, they are like hidden. They don't do that like in the open.
For the most part, it depends on which world they're on. There are
Okay.
some places like the Dromite homeland where like the Dark Six are like the primary deities.
Okay.
And it's not that uncommon for like folks to like mostly worship the sovereign host, but like in a bad storm, a sailor might pray to the devourer, as their domain is kind of like nature's wrath. But for it's something that's like very well known. Like everyone would know the names of the gods, but it's like for most people, it's like that's bad juju, like you said earlier, or you might be trying to be kind of like counter, like golf teens might pray to the devourer for shits and gigs.
Devour or kill me.
Yeah.
Sorry. You mentioned it was a variant of the symbol of the Fury. Is there anything significant there, or it's just like it's one of the known variants, or does it look like there is something distinctly different about it?
There is a pretty big distinction. The scales is a weird twist. The scales are not featured in normal the Fury heraldry.
Jib, is there anything you're aware of where scales are important?
I mean, scales are pretty important with a lot of the sovereign hosts. Can I roll on that as well? I'm assuming like even the fact that like Orin, the temple that Stin is a head of, like their whole thing is like law, right? So that would be like scales as well.
Yeah, a scales soon. You have a 15 or so. You like generally scales could mean a few different things. Scales can be associated with law. Scales can be associated with commerce. The pairing. The thing that's weird is that they're paired with the Fury. If it was like Auron, that would make sense. It would also make sense if it was like a Kol Kradan, who's like a god of trade and travel. It would even make more sense if it was like a different Dark Six, like the Keeper is one of the domains is greed. So like scales would also make sense there. This is a little bit odd that you find Fury.
It's a little odd to fight a Fury. If I could just say that. I think perhaps this gentleman had a tattoo and had to cover it up with a different one. It's very strange.
Could it be perhaps that it is, since this Fury is about revenge and passion, perhaps it is a thing of an eye for an eye? Balancing injustices of a sort?
I was having a similar thought, the concept of a just revenge.
Oui. Perhaps they were sent here to bring around a sort of dark justice on the blacksmith for something that occurred in their past. They got caught, brought here, and now we are here in this situation.
What is there a way for us to like? We need like some sort of like I don't want to say we want to take the head around, but we gotta ask people if they've ever seen this man before.
This is true.
Because like you don't think he's the father of the bride, right?
Oh, I think that would be hard to mix up the two.
Yeah, right.
I think it is worth perhaps talking to the blacksmith. If we wish to
Yeah.
follow this idea of just revenge, if there is validity there, perhaps the blacksmith already knew this person.
This is true. I could perhaps use one of my cantrips to conjure up an image of this dwarf or this woman Evelyn to anyone we come across.
DM,
Great idea.
how does the tattoo look fresh, or does it look like they've had it a while?
Good way. It looks fairly worn, fairly old.
Okay.
And there is one thing I accidentally omitted to your perception check earlier, Liam.
Okay.
As you're looking around, there was no wounds on Evelyn. There was a single wound on Boren. And since you rolled over 20, I
Did
must
you
give
just
this
reveal
to you.
his name to us?
No, I'll be editing that out. As you look down, they're looking at the tattoo. You're pacing around the room. For some reason, your eye is drawn to his hand, and you turn it over, and there's a small, but fairly deep gash on his thumb. And as you see Polly there making that prestidigitation or minor illusion, that cantrip of this man's face. That's about the right size to be from one of his own teeth.
So, he bit... Oh, that's interesting. I'm connecting a few things here, but what's currently in my head is that this person, unnamed individual, intentionally created a wound in their own thumb and then used their blood to smear this symbol, this smudge, on the ground for some reason.
You mean that smudge we wiped up and put in the vial?
Yes, we did destroy evidence, didn't we?
Shit. Merde.
Over in the other room, Vincent just sits up a little bit straighter, oh no, something has happened.
I have
Vincent,
many
you are
years
here again?
I have many years of experience. That doesn't mean I know how to use them.
Well, I mean, it was basically an arc, right? I don't think there was anything that crazy about
Yeah,
it.
and it was an arc, so it was just a smear, if they had done an arc motion with their thumb, and then it was faded out.
Yep.
Okay.
And does it look like from where the position of their hand was compared to this arc that it was it would make sense to draw that conclusion? Or
Give me a math check, please.
a math check?
Yeah, geometry. You're asking about geometry. It's a math check.
Oh, that's
okay.
it.
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Let's
there.
go!
Whoa,
Nat
nat
20!
20.
Plus
Hell
2!
yeah.
Is a natural 20 plus
Let's
22.
go.
Heck yeah. This would almost exactly encircle Evelyn's shriveled corpse. This arc of blood. A lot of it seems been washed away by something. Goodness knows what, because all the soup stayed outside the room. But this arc certainly would have encircled the body.
But the dwarf is covered in water / it was coming out of their mouth, you said.
It wasn't water. It was more
It was a
viscous
viscous
than
material.
water.
We should try to identify that.
Yeah.
Can I cast Detect Poison and Disease?
Let's go, Sam! Ooh.
Let's just
That's the
see.
spice to meet the ball. Yes, you absolutely can. All right, can you hit me with the wording on that one, Sam?
For the duration, you can sense the presence and location of poisons, poisonous creatures, and diseases within 30 feet of you. You also identify the kind of poison, the poisonous creature, or disease in each case. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Interesting. I love that. So, what I'll give you with that spell, because this doesn't exactly match up with everything, but I think it makes a lot of sense. You're looking into this guy's mouth, you're casting this spell, and there is definitely something toxic about this. Also, you're getting a similar ping from a drain. There's a drain around like the back of the room that you guys didn't see previously, because why would you look towards the very back of the room? There's a little grate there. And there's a little bit of this same kind of like viscous substance that
On the
goes
grate?
down this grate. Pretty small, only about the size of a baseball.
Hey, Paulie.
We.
There's something in that grate. I can smell it. It's like toxic. Am I getting the sense that it's the same as what's on the body?
Yes, you are.
It is exactly whatever happened to this guy. Are you able to take a look down there?
And one more thing there, Jib.
Mm.
It's about the same kind of toxic that Polly is.
No.
Sacre bleu.
It's what are the chances that Andrew and Will work together on this for Will to be the murderer? What are the chances?
I mean, not zero.
Not zero.
Not zero.
I mean,
Chances are
Will,
never zero.
Will is pretty cold-blooded in general.
What?
I mean, I already said it, so
What?
yeah, and
Pulling
actually
in my notes. Don't trust Polly.
this is gonna sound really weird, but this substance is giving me you vibes.
Me?
Yeah, like
Jib.
well, it's just like, look, the magic does what it does. I'm just reading.
Gee, but you know me
No.
better than this. I was with you all evening in the last couple of days. I don't even think we've been here that long. It
You had to take a really long shit that one time. I'm
Listen,
not saying.
I think
those gerbils on the ship, someone had to take care of them. They do not sit well with my stomach.
Yeah,
I
know,
apologize.
I know.
that I believe that Jib is implying that it is a creature of the same nature as yourself, unless you have a guilty conscience and would like to say anything.
That's interesting.
Oh,
Liam.
no, I do not have that capability. No, listen,
Insight
I will
check.
take a look.
Insight check. Insight.
PvP. Insight edition.
It's inciting Will, and she's not liking it.
Okay.
Oh,
12.
I rolled
Only
that.
a 12
I rolled,
for insight.
Super laggy. I hit the
Oh.
button. Oh, 18.
You know, as you guys look into your dear friend Polly's three-eyed face.
Yeah.
No, they have fully been with you for the last 2 days.
Alright.
And like you were solidly at like early dinner because you guys always take advantage of that senior special when Sten was apparently discovering this murder. So it does not seem like he or they could have done it.
It's easy to pose as a 90-year-old
was-
man when you can pose as anybody.
This viscous material is not even the same color as me. It could not have been me. But yes, I will take a look.
Okay.
Using my amorphous ability where I can fit through anything up to an inch wide, can I
yeah.
follow this drain to see where it ends up at? I am.
You sure
if
can.
there is poison here, I am naturally resistant to acid and poison. But if it's of my people, I can't imagine it would necessarily hurt unless you dictate otherwise.
Yeah. As you kind of like snake your way through this drain, and you go through like a few different like repositories, and you actually go fairly deep. If you're continuing to follow this seems to feed into the main like sewage and like distribution center for this entire settlement.
Okay.
That's not daunting at all.
So he's
Can
gone for
I-
a while.
Very much like whatever the monster was in Star Wars that was in all the trash, like poke out a tentacle because I can make a pseudopod and like force one of my eyeballs into this to like peek into the main system and see if there's anything that catches my eye.
Absolutely, yeah. Hit me with a perception or investigation check as you pop into the main sewer grate.
Oh, I am
Yeah.
going to do investigation because I actually have a plus.
Jib,
That is
while
a
they're
12.
away,
Fuck.
What'd you say?
Jib, while they're away, we should decide if we trust them.
It did occur to me that it's a little weird. Multiple plasmoids. I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh, there can
Hashtag-
only be one of us?
also
Hashtag
freaks
not,
me
not,
out.
How many
not all
plasmoids
plasmoids.
on one planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it also freaks me out when he does that in the grate.
Yeah,
Where do his
there's
bones-
just a
where's his
pile of
body
my
go?
stuff at the
I know.
top.
Yeah.
That's a 12 right there.
Yeah.
Well, as you take a look down, it's dark down here, but you can see fairly well. There's nothing remarkable in this passageway, and you, as your resistant, you're not really bothered by the fumes down here, but you think other people might be.
Okay.
So I'll definitely give you that. It does not smell great down here. It's one of the wonderful things about being a plasmoid. All your senses work on all parts of your body, so you can taste the floor, and it doesn't taste good.
And can you feel the taste?
Yes, you can.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I think it is
I'll tell
important
this
to
about-
note.
I will not certainly not tell them about this part of it all, but there will certainly be a long bathroom break again.
Convenient. It is important to note, if we have not done so already, I do believe the arc of blood surrounding Evelyn's corpse would suggest that they did not die at the same time. I would surmise that Evelyn died first.
Can you explain that?
Well, if you're going to draw an arc of blood around a corpse, that would mean there is a corpse, and you are alive to draw the arc.
Got it. So this guy... So she shriveled up and dried up, and then he drew the circle around her, and then he died.
Potentially. It's also
So-
possible that this arc belonged to some ritual or spell that caused the shriveling. But either way, I do not believe they died simultaneously.
I picture Polly kind of reforming into a blob back in the room, and it's just like totally monstrous and distorted. It's just like, perhaps it is a partner gone bad, a partnership gone bad. Perhaps the partner that snuck away into the sewers can
Man, you
finish this.
stink.
I am.
Wow.
It will go away in a moment. My body will digest it. Do not.
I can almost
Oh,
taste that.
gross.
Jib, can you taste that?
It does
No.
not bear repeating. Please.
I don't want it.
Did you just say you want it?
No, no.
Is it
Good.
unsettling to anybody else that if this was in fact the same creature that Polly is, Polly could just drown us at any time?
Weird. Anyways.
So I was saying,
You think that a plasmoid popped and like drowned this man?
I don't know what it means. I just know that if this is the same material as Polly,
Yeah,
it is inside a person.
yeah.
That's a little unsettling.
All right, where do we go from here?
you hear a voice from down the hallway. Are you guys done yet? I want to solve this crime already.
Yeah.
Do we believe we have seen everything here that we need to? And we had discussed, I believe it was you, Liam, meeting with the blacksmith that no longer has their tongue.
Ah,
Yeah.
that might be inconvenient, but yes, we should go speak to them if they are able.
Well, there is the sewers. We could see if we could try to get in there. It probably won't be great for you.
You know, it's making me think. Okay, hear me out. What if whoever caused this was a plasmoid? I'm not saying it's you, Polly. We pretty sure it's
Second.
not. And so whoever did this ran away through the drain.
Oui, this
Two-
sounds plausible.
I do believe that is... Yes, plausible.
Okay. I think we gotta talk to Georgiana and head down the drain.
All right, Vincent, you can have the cell again. We are done here for the moment.
Alright, I'm clearly have already figured this out, but I'm just seeing that if you can, because I'm grading you. I'm in charge.
But of course.
Yeah, of course you are.
How is your superiority complex faring?
Very well, thank you.
Hmm.
And then he looks away, and as your spell begins to fade, Polly, his last thought you hear is, "It's not going well at all."
Blackout.
But you guys,
End of
you guys
Act
have
1.
seen the blacksmith shop before. You make your way over there. It's actually pretty close to the inn. As you walk up, it's like a pretty large building. There is a lot of demand for blacksmith tools and tools and weapons. There's always folks, coming by, passing through. It's kind of like the secondary purpose of Black Rise. It's a decent traveler's hub for people going out like towards the outer rim. But a lot of you think this lady makes a lot of pickaxes and other mining equipment for the locals. As you head on in, there is a really like strong-looking hobgoblin woman, and she is at a forge, and she is just pounding out what looks like the very beginnings of a broadsword. And over like on the other side of the room, kind of keeping away from the forge, are two kind of rough-looking human men, kind of just like two bulky guys, who like see you when you like walk in, and they're like, "Hey, Georgiana," and she stops hammering. She turns around, and kind of like walks over to you, and she like gets up to the desk, and she pulls like almost like a flashcard up that says like, "What do you want?"
Perhaps I can make this easier for everybody. I would like to use my telepathic speech to communicate with them, and I will relay anything that is being said by her to the party.
Beautiful. DM puts away a lot of really bad metaphors and how to awkwardly say that she's writing something.
Great.
I want to. Sorry. During the conversation, I'm just perched on Liam.
Excellent.
I just wanted to make that clear.
Strong.
Look behind the mask.
We're not ready. No one's
They're
ready.
like,
The last person who looked isn't here anymore.
No.
You best.
You establish your psychic link there, Holly. Oh, well, this is certainly novel. So, what do you need, partner? Sword, shield, pickaxe? You don't look like a miner, but you never can tell.
Just to clarify, anybody can talk to her. Like, it doesn't stop her ability to hear. It's just her responses I'm going to relay, so it's not just a me-only
got it.
conversation.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, we're. Well, you relayed that she asked what we wanted.
Yeah. Just anything Andrew says, assume that Polly's
Okay.
saying
Assume there's a relay, yeah.
it.
Yeah. We heard what happened to you, Georgiana. I'm really sorry about what you've been through the last week or so. It's like it's really tough.
Well, thank you for your condolences, I suppose. No, that's Vincent's voice. Thank you for the condolences. Not my best week. I've had to hire on some extra muscle, and she like gestures over to like the two like larger humans like who are just kind of watching you guys have like kind of crude like not actually they work for a blacksmith. They have like fairly nice clubs and like swords at their sides.
We were investigating the investigating the death of your assailant. Are you aware he's dead?
No, wasn't he just at the Azure Gauntlet? He was arrested. Actually, honestly, thank goodness the paladins were out about when they were. They just happened to kind of be here when my customer came in and saw that bastard nailing my tongue to the wall.
Whoa.
Oh. He has mysteriously been found dead in his cell. We wanted to ask, did you know this man?
I had never seen him before in my life.
Insight check.
check.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll insight.
He's her ex-boyfriend.
Ayo. 21.
These fucking virtual dice.
Is the tongue still on the wall?
It is not.
That
She
would
did
be
not-
so bad.
She
Something
did not
tells me
keep that
she didn't want
design
that
choice.
souvenir, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
checking.
Hey, always good to know.
Really
Um,
messes with the feng shui.
Liam, as you look across the room, she is telling the truth about that she had never seen him before, but you get the distinct sense she's not telling the whole truth about what happened to her.
I hope you understand. I know this is a difficult scenario, but we are trying to bring this entire event to rest. And if you are withholding information, it is harder for us to do so.
Perhaps, Georgiana, we could, if there are, perhaps, and he's, or Polly is saying this telepathically now to Georgiana, if there is perhaps, hesitation on telling us anything else that you feel might be pertinent, is there a place that you would, or people you would like to not be here? Is there a way we can make you feel perhaps a bit more comfortable in sharing anything that might help us in solving this mystery?
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check there, Polly.
Please, virtual dice, be nice. That's a 17 total. I have a plus 6 to
Nice.
persuasion.
All right, not bad. 17 will do it. She gives you kind of like a nod. Like through this conversation, she's been kind of feeling you all out. She like looks back to the two chuckleheads she has like in the back, and she's like pulls out a cue card that says "Be back in 5," and she gestures to you to follow her out the door.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
So she walks down out towards like a little bit of like the less nice part of town here. Not quite the slums by any means, but like definitely not like the well-to-do area here. When she gets to kind of the outskirts of one of the neighborhoods, she pauses again, and you could hear her voice again internally, Polly. As the man jumped up, he walked in, asked if it was my name on the door. Not weird, my name is on the door, it's my shop. I said yes, I'm Georgiana. He whispered something under his breath that I couldn't really tell what it was, and I couldn't move. And then he cut out my tongue, and when he did, he said, "You called a man a leech, and now you'll eat your words." And, well, there's only one man I've called a leech recently. And he lives in that house right there. She points across the way. His name is Hux. I'm sure he can fill you in on the details. I'm sure he has something to do with this all, but frankly, I just want to forget the whole thing. He's just a... Well, you'll see, he's rather pathetic. And honestly, I don't think... Whatever happened, I doubt he was fully aware of what's going on.
We will try to deal with anything in this matter as delicately as possible, Georgiana, as we can absolutely understand and respect your feelings in not wanting too much memory or future troubles to be brought upon you. So we do very much appreciate the fact that you have given us this much, truly.
She gives you like a respectful nod, and a slightly more curt one to Jib and Liam, as you have not been literally in her head. And she turns and walks away.
All right.
Bonsoir.
So we got a lead.
Yes, we do indeed. These Hux, perhaps they are involved with hiring, or she certainly seemed to believe that they were not fully aware of whatever they had done to perhaps bring about these actions, but it would certainly not be a bad idea to discuss this with him.
Yeah, do we think we should just go knock on the door, or?
Perhaps. But do you think either Vincent or... oh my god, what am I forgetting his name?
Stan?
Stan. I've said every single one.
Pick a
Is
vowel.
It's a vowel. Would have anything to share with us about Hux? Perhaps they are known quite well locally for something in particular.
Yeah,
Life-
maybe we quickly ask someone.
It might be smart to inquire, especially if civilians are calling him a leech.
So could we quickly run back and grab Stan and be like, "What do you know about Hux?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Where is he?
Well, I think we want to ask Vincent, right? Not Sten. Vincent being investigation versus Sten, which is the head of the temple.
Yeah, but Vincent's also up his own ass. Sten might give us
I
a
like him.
non-biased account.
I think we could get both because they could have two totally different sides. Like Vincent might know something about Hux
True.
that Stin doesn't,
Sure.
Yeah. Everyone give me just a persuasion or intimidation roll for your conversations here.
That would be persuasive.
If anybody want to help.
Let's go, Brendan.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
Brennan.
the virtual dice are really on my side today.
25.
Holy shit.
Damn.
All
So we got
right.
A 14 from Jim, a 20 from Liam, and a 25 from Polly.
Hell yeah.
Sorcerers.
Thank you, dice.
Yeah. So Vincent just has some kind of curt things to say. He doesn't really know Sten, he doesn't really know Hux. But Sten, poor Hux. He's had a tough lot in life. His father passed when he was fairly young, and he's just had trouble making ends meet his whole life. I mean, to be honest, he's not a very good miner. I think he takes as much in assistance as he gets from his mining work, and it doesn't help that he's using hand-me-down tools and the like. It's just some people have a hard lot in life. There's some just awful rumors that go around about people, and unfortunately Sten just always seems to have the worst end of the deal. Well, not quite as bad as the Applegates, but still, rumors, they spread.
We did not ask Georgiana why they called them a leech.
I mean, I kind of think we just got an answer.
What she said was, she was basically like, well, I'm not going to tell you why I called him a leech. He'll tell you that.
Okay.
It kind of seems like Sten just told us. I think it's referring to he's leeching off of society.
Okay.
He's not well off. He doesn't have a whole lot to offer. He doesn't have a skill set. He's sort of just leeching off of everybody else's skills or goods or whatever.
Has Hux had problems with other people?
I think he's had a couple times. He's had to be reminded to pay his tab over at the Golden Dragon. He's had a bad habit of taking out credits
Old
at
man,
some of the shops.
man voice.
Oh, sorry. I was Georgiana again. He has a bad habit of needing to be reminded to pay his debts, and maybe being a bit impertinent, if I may say. Because we are, at the Gauntlet, we're here to serve the communities. So, I wish he would come to us first, to be perfectly honest. But he has a bit of a stubborn streak about him. He really wants to, be like his dad. Worked in the mines his whole life. Just not always what you're cracked out to be.
I don't think we asked either of you. Did anybody, including yourselves, know this unnamed, now dead individual from town? Ever seen him with anybody?
Oh. No, I don't believe so. No, when Vincent and the boys brought him in, this was the first time I'd ever laid eyes on him. But we don't get a lot of Evelyn, of course, we know. She's lived in the neighborhood, I think, her whole life. And he looks kind of like sad. I officiated her wedding the day she was arrested for murder.
Yeah, that seems like maybe it was out of character.
Well, yeah. It's not... You don't usually kill your husband on your wedding night. Just generally.
Is her father-in-law around? Or is her father around?
Oh, no, I misspoke earlier. It is her father-in-law. Yes, Claude's over at the Applegate Manor. He's terribly shaken up about the whole ordeal.
Yeah. I feel like we should at least pay him a visit.
Oh, that would make sense. So that means I do have to make up a third, slightly different old man voice. I'll start working on that.
And last question before we leave Vincent to solve this on his own. At either of the crime scenes, was there any iconography left around, either in blood or ink or dirt or any other substance?
Not really, I guess. Well, what is iconography? What's an icon? Is an icon a symbol? And a symbol can mean many things.
We should go.
You
This sounds like you're stalling quite drastically. Please, just anything.
You belong to
odd.
a church. You should know what an icon is. There's one on your door.
Oh, yes. Well, in that case, an icon can be an object. In that case, the answer might be yes. The man, whose name I certainly don't know and would never say accidentally, Vincent caught him nailing the poor woman's tongue to the wall. And I suppose you don't usually rip out the heart of someone, right? That's in many ways a symbol. It's been a long time since I was at theology school.
Does this person seem like... Does he seem like he's withholding information, or does he seem like a bumbling idiot?
He's a bit of a doddering fool.
Okay.
You're getting... Honestly, and Jib could probably, attest to this.
Yeah.
A lot of these small mining communities, they're not, the A-plus assignments for, the temple or the church. They're
Gotcha.
usually either staffed by local people or folks who have retired from more stressful jobs.
It's like a volunteer church.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you're looking these people up and down, you're pretty sure Vincent used to actually do police work at a larger system, maybe even on one of the core planets, but now he's in semi-retirement training novices out in this backwater.
Gotcha.
And probably a similar story for Sten. He is ostensibly in charge of the church, which there are some logistics to that. He has to run services, he has to collect offering, he has to distribute offering.
Sure.
So he's not incompetent, but he's not a crack guy. You
Yeah,
don't send the Pope
they're not
out to
Holmes.
Timbuktu. No.
Yeah.
They're not
So
even
if I'm picking up
Watchmen.
if I'm picking up what you're kind of saying here, perhaps so Evelyn took the heart out. This unnamed individual took the tongue from Georgiana, and then the unnamed individual took the blood out of Evelyn.
What?
Blood or water? Oh yeah,
Yes,
just ignore
this
this
could be
part.
verging on the sacrifice ritualistic.
Yeah.
Of course.
We didn't check to see if she was empty of fluids.
I would
It does.
intuit that perhaps it is exactly what it was, considering
Well,
they were a husk.
I believe that we should speak to Evelyn's father. At least in the case of Georgiana, there was something symbolic about the body part removed. She had, in somebody's perception, misused her tongue, and so it was removed. Perhaps there was a love interest or some romantic spite that would make somebody think that the husband deserved to
Was
lose his
that-
heart.
Oui, this is good.
So we should go speak to the father.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thanks, Dad.
Stan, Vincent.
Of course. No, whatever. I'm solving this crime. And I
You're
should
doing
clarify,
great, sweetie.
it's Evelyn's father-in-law, the father
Right.
of the murdered groom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the father of the
Yeah,
groom.
yeah.
Which could be good either way, because it could
Well,
be like the dead husband, like
she's-
burned
Right,
someone, and they
Like
got
maybe
revenge on him.
maybe he was unfaithful. Maybe he like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
bride did something. We'll find out.
I think we got to play this really tactfully. If this is the father of the dead guy who was killed by his wife, he's probably not going to want to talk bad things about his husband. But if we think the husband was
His
cheating,
son.
we're going to have to get that information out.
Well,
yeah,
he
his
could have
son.
bad things to say about his husband. We will not say.
I'm not here to get involved in everybody's romantic interest. Just the woman who removed her husband's heart. That seems sort of important.
Yeah.
Let's go ask a father if
Colgate
his
Manor.
son was a shit.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Did you throw your name into the goblet of fire?
Jacques!
Oh,
Excellent. You make your way to the decidedly ritzier half of the crater here. You head up to Applegate Estate. You know it's Applegate Estate because the gate has a big apple over it. It's on a mining colony. I don't know.
Nice.
You figure it out. You knock on the doors, and kind of like a well-dressed gnomish fellow opens the door and bids you wait in like a waiting room. And in a little bit, and like an older man who looks like he is not having the best week of his life enters with a absolutely hulking figure behind him. It seems Claude Applegate, as he introduces himself, has also hired on some extra protection. Well,
Okay.
hey there, my young friends. My name's Claude Applegate. And as you can see, I am in mourning. This is
You
just how
sound
my
like it.
voice sounds. I'm sorry. I was just a very upbeat guy usually. I don't know quite how to put on the airs of grief.
I can't wait.
And we are investigating the recent attacks, one of them perhaps pertaining to your son. And so we are curious, without upsetting you perhaps too much, if we could pick your brain a little bit about it, or the circumstances surrounding your son, or their behavior before the events that transpired.
Well, I'll say it was about the saddest day of my life, but if it will bring justice, well, I'm already pretty sure who did it. After all, I did walk in on the murderess right as she was done committing her crime.
So it was who?
It was Evelyn. I
Interesting.
thought this was gonna be a happy moment. It was such a cute ceremony. You know, I've been without a wife for quite some time, and I thought my boy Peter, he was gonna carry on the family line. But, well, I guess that won't be happening. You know, after his first marriage fell apart, I thought, well, there you go. It's all downhill from here. But, well, I liked Evelyn. She was a nice gal. There was, you know, a little bit of, well, it ain't a father's place to judge the way they started dating, but, you know, I was happy that he was happy.
Forgive me, could you extrapolate on that a little bit?
Well, you
What-
got some fancy words there, my friend, but I can sure keep talking about it, sure. Well, my son, about 3 years ago, he married a nice gal from down the way named Posey. And they seemed happy for a time, but then he comes to me one day and says, well, dadgummit, she only done married me for my money. And I was heartbroken, and, well, pretty soon after she left, well, he took up with Evelyn, a nice girl, but, well, there's been some talk around town that, yeah, maybe they started a little bit early in their courtship. You know, maybe while he was still married to young Posey.
You don't say.
Yep, well, yep.
Guess you could say they were ringing
Yeah.
around the posy, huh?
I guess you could.
Gee,
I'm
perhaps it
sorry.
is not the right. Oh, I'm
Jesus
very
Christ.
sorry, sir.
I mean, it was in this very room that I walked in on her murdering him.
Oh, so perhaps we could move to a different room if it is too hard for you to be here.
It is the only good sitting room in this house. I swear, it's all hallways.
That is a shame. One sitting room.
I don't know who designed this place. I hate it.
Perhaps you could have better luck selling it. Is it a good market here? You could try to move into a different area.
It's a mining town, and I own the mines. There ain't no other reason to be here.
Very well. Curious.
Could we take a look around the room?
Well, be my guest. I'm just gonna stare out the window and remember better times.
Yeah, you do that.
Claude, does Posey still live in town anywhere?
Well, yes, she lives down by the old, by the auto well, I suppose you could call it. I had that installed for the orphans. And now, one of my son's ex-wives is there. Took all sorts of things when he threw her out, but if you talk to her, I would like them back because I can sell them for money.
Yeah. We'll talk to her.
I don't want to detract from the fact that you are strangely sad, but also a terrible person. Was there any tension between your son and Evelyn around the time of the wedding?
Oh,
Did any old wounds reopen?
there was lots of tension. There was a bristling sexual tension between those two that
That's
could barely keep
not-
their eyes off each other.
Wait, between
That's
who?
That's not what I meant.
Between Peter and Evelyn, well, they would have been a beautiful couple until she murdered him in this very room.
I guess I'm asking. It seems like, I will try to ask this tenderly, though it's not my strength. It seems like out of this triangle, Polly was the only one. Oh, sorry, Posey was the only one who was, who came up short. Why would Evelyn have had any reason to do this? Any justification that she could have conjured, valid or not?
I can't think of a single reason why she would kill my boy. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Was he cheating?
There was a
Well-
suspicion about that, yes.
Yes, well, I did hear say down at the Golden Dragon Inn that he might have been keeping up with Evelyn while Posey was still in the house, but I never found any proof, and it ain't my place to pry.
I see. Sometimes you just gotta be straightforward, you know? Liam, sometimes people like that.
I asked if there was a reason for his son to die. I didn't think I could be more direct. But I will take that under advisement.
I think we should talk to Posey, but I would like to take a quick look around the room.
Yeah, go and make a perception or investigation check.
I'm gonna do
13
investigation.
13 investigation.
I got a 16 investigation.
16. All right. So as the two of you are looking around, Jib, this room has clearly been like pretty extensively cleaned recently after the bloody murder. That makes a little bit of sense. So there's not a lot of physical evidence to glean. But your eye, Polly, is drawn to, like, over the mantle. There is a display of 5 daggers. They're all made out of this like dark purple gray material, and they like the 5 of them are like arranged in like a chevron, like a upside down V, and it looks like there's a place where one of the daggers is missing.
Monsieur Applegate, is there perhaps a reason why one of your very fine daggers is missing from this display?
Yeah, I noticed that just the other day when I was sitting in this room thinking about how all my life was ruined by this terrible crime. And that must have been the very knife that Evelyn used to kill my son. I don't know where she put it. She didn't seem to have it when she was taken away by the paladins, but maybe she threw it out the window or, I don't know, hid it somewhere.
Yeah.
Curious. Would you happen to have, is there a kitchen or bathroom nearby this room?
Yeah, down the hall if you need to use it. Just light a candle, please.
Of course. Very well.
He takes uncomfortably long shits.
Yeah.
Could I peek in either the bathroom or the kitchen and see for any signs of plasmoid substances or like residue, perhaps?
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and run me a perception or investigation check.
We're gonna do investigation here. Please be kind. All right, 18 total.
Very nice. As you take a look around there, Polly, you don't see any like plasmoid substances. There is a drain in the kitchen. It's actually a pretty nicely appointed kitchen. You can see there's a few folks in there working. Applegate has a pretty large domestic staff. And there is a drain for like washing dishes or bleeding out animals to be roasted. But you don't
there's
see
like
any
a big
plasma.
floor one.
Yeah, pretty big floor drain. But you don't really see any plasmoid drippings, I guess.
Sure. Could I, you don't have to necessarily role play it, but could I ask the staff if they remember anybody coming through the kitchen at all or after the events of that night?
Absolutely. They a few of the staff were on duty on the night in question. None of them remembers anything coming out of the grate.
Okay.
Or anything odd there.
Cool.
All right, gang. I think it's time for me to cast another spell. Maybe help us out here a little bit. If we have time for me to do a quick ritual.
If it is helpful.
Yeah.
I don't think Mr. Applegate is going anywhere.
Yeah, probably not. I was thinking, we could cast locate object for one of those daggers.
That would be most wonderful.
I'm thinking whoever has it, or, even if it's in a bush or something, we might get more information.
Could certainly see if it's around the area.
All right. And Jib, I imagine Jib, goes outside of the sidewalk or something and, sits down on the ground and, pulls out, their forked twig and just starts, mumbling and making all these motions, casting a spell for, his ritual spell for a little bit, outside.
Absolutely. What's the range on that one? How close can you, or how far away can you be to feel it?
You can sense the direction as long as it's within 1,000 feet.
Okay.
And if it's in motion, it's in motion.
Gotcha. You get a ping to your southwest.
Okay,
that is towards the domestic section.
All right, let's go. Jib has the twig out and is following the twig and flying through the air.
Is that towards the direction that Applegate told us Posey lived?
It is.
Make haste, friends. Excuse us, Mr. Claude. We will hopefully have good tidings in time.
They're right.
Sorry about your dead son.
You say that and you run Scooby-Doo style out of the house, and the camera pans back and he's just hand against the glass of the window, just staring out into the literal void of space above his house.
Just sobbing.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette plays softly in the background.
Isn't it ironic?
You like needle your way through some of these alleyways and between residential buildings, and you come to a very small kind of shack of a building, like kind of on the edge of town. It's right by this kind of, it looks like a well. It's certainly not, as you're on essentially an asteroid. But it has the traditional circular column of stone, and there's a machine built over it. This is the well contraption that Mr. Applegate mentioned before. And then there's a drain there, and then there's a shack that's fairly close by. So it's near the water source, but it's clearly not a very nice address.
Okay.
Well, this is it, gents.
It definitely feels like it's coming from within the shack.
Definitely.
Okay. Could I, and you tell me if this is too much of a stretch here of this ability, through the telepathic speech, I would almost imagine that I can sense that there's someone to connect with. Could I use that to see if there's a humanoid or an intelligent creature within the shack that might share a language with me to be able to
Interesting.
sense them?
Can you read me the ability?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. I have to see the creature as I was reading through, so it wouldn't work.
Dang. No, good luck. You can use detect thoughts like that, I believe.
Yeah, that's just another second level
Yeah.
spell. I don't know if I want to burn it now. Yeah, I'm going to hold off. Thank you, though.
Absolutely.
In the spirit of being direct, perhaps we just knock on the door.
Yeah.
Liam, you go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we'll stand back.
Liam will approach the door, and he will use his staff, and he will just rap 3 times on the door.
There is a echoing silence as no one responds to your call.
Maybe do it harder.
I try the handle. Is it locked?
It is not.
Can I just push it
Seal
open?
Team 6,
Yeah.
go.
We have probable cause.
I don't think that. All right. I'll fly in after them.
Yeah. And this is a pretty small room. It's honestly not a ton bigger than the cell that the 2 bodies were in.
Wow.
But it is chock to the brim with finery. There are all sorts of fancy clothes on just heaps and racks. There's jewelry boxes around. But the thing that draws your eye is opposite a window that kind of looks out over the edge of Blackrise. There is a fairly nice, wingback chair, and there is a woman's body slumped in it.
Oh,
And
no.
She does not respond to you, rushing into her house.
Is there a dagger on her or in her?
Yeah. Cause of death.
Two things. Jib, you look up, and there is a dagger on the mantle, in a place of honor and pride. In this house, this hovel filled with finery. Go ahead, if anyone wants to give you a medicine check to take a closer look at that body.
I will
Yeah,
assist anybody who's doing that.
I got a +5.
I have a +5 as well,
Let's go.
so... Okay.
Whoever wants to take a
17,
second roll
yeah.
can. I'm
Why
not
don't you
going to
get the
do one.
second
I
roll?
got a +0.
I clicked it.
All right. With a 7,
You wasted it.
Liam, you look down at this body you assume to be Posy's.
Mhm.
It is filled with a viscous, watery substance.
Oh.
It wasn't me.
Same substance.
And there is a source of... There's a quote-unquote well outside, right?
There is.
All right, so clearly somebody's going through the grates and killing people.
They saw me sitting in the jail cell. It wasn't me.
In
In the shack. It wasn't me.
Saw me jump down the town well? Was me.
Yes.
So, it does seem like... Well, here's an interesting thought. Polly,
We.
do you have the ability to shift your form to look like other individuals?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Show us.
Well, who am I supposed to be like?
Posey.
You've seen me shift. We have been together a while now. Come on now.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
so like is it like a changeling style of shift where you can like look like a person, or do you
It's just, like,
are you
shape.
can you change your shape?
Shape self. As an action, you can reshape your body to give yourself a head, 1 or 2 arms, 1 or 2 legs, makeshift hands and feet,
Okay,
or
yeah.
you can revert to a limbless blob. While you
So,
have a
yeah.
humanoid
Yeah.
shape, you can wear clothes and armor made of a humanoid of your size. So it's not going to be like a changeling every exact detail, but I can
Yeah.
hit the basic form for sure.
So the reason I'm asking is like it's not like a
No one
It's
would
not
mistake
like a
you.
creature.
Yeah.
yeah. No ooze-like creature posed as Evelyn
It would be very obvious.
to murder her husband.
Sure. I mean, unless they have some magic or an ability to disguise themselves, like
Sure.
I mean, if I would imagine, and Andrew, you can. This is just me getting creative. Like someone with the cantrip minor illusion could probably, or the spell disguise self, do it on top of the
Yeah.
the blob
Mhm.
form to get something pretty
Yes.
close.
So, here's my thing, right? Clearly, whoever did this didn't care about money because they could have taken everything in this building.
We.
No, I think this falls back to the concept of justice. It's strange, though. The thing that breaks the pattern is there's nothing yet to suggest that Evelyn's husband deserved death.
Well, I don't think anybody deserved it.
Actually, here's an interesting connection. Someone was wronged, then someone attacked the perpetrator on the victim's behalf, and then the person who attacked the perpetrator ended up dead. That is both true of Posey and of our unnamed inmate.
Would it perhaps be uncouth to check Posey's body for perhaps a tattoo of the Fury?
That would make a lot of sense, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, go for it, but like, I think what we're saying here is, clearly this unnamed ooze killed Posey in vengeance for something Posey did, which would imply that Posey killed Evelyn's husband.
Yes.
Oh, so you just like knew that?
Oh, well, it's just my gut feeling that is where that was going. I did not check when I talked to the staff whether or not they were truly being honest with me when they said that no one came through, but I was only checking for perhaps the evidence of another plasmoid like myself.
Yeah, I think the problem though is like if Posey killed Evelyn's husband, then why did someone get justice on Evelyn? Because she didn't do anything.
She was, according to Mr. Applegate, she was a symbol of her husband's unfaithfulness.
But why would the dwarf go after Evelyn? Unless he was a part of this plasmoid cultish thing, perhaps. Unless there is some kind of connection there. We do not know Evelyn's entire past.
Are you aware of the golden rule of justice, or one of the tenets of justice?
Always treat people like you would like to be treated.
No, that's just the golden rule.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I
my bad.
misspoke. No, I'm speaking to the full length of the eye for an eye message. There is that part at the end about the whole world being blind. It could very well be we are looking at a pattern of murderers murdering murderers, and so on and so forth,
Vigilante.
in the sake of justice.
This could be true. Clearly, they are making themselves at home within the waterways and sewers of this poor settlement.
For sure.
Or they are at least using it to travel.
Very
I'm-
true.
I'm thinking we investigate the hell out of this place, and then we go check out Hux.
We should speak to Hux.
Should we perhaps ask if there is any plasmoids within the city, or is that too broad, do you think?
Yeah, are there like a lot of plasmoids around town, or?
Not a ton, like, and
But it's probably racial profiling.
Yeah, I
I
don't
was
want to
gonna
be
say,
like
literally
yeah.
racial profiling.
It's very final
Yeah.
solution really quick.
Yeah.
No, let's do some more searching around here, and then go find Hux.
On this episode, the gang enjoys Reagan-era policing.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh
No,
If you'd
It's
like to
it.
stop crime, just kill all the plasmoids.
no!
we're cutting all of this. This is bad.
You can certainly try.
We don't edit.
Can we like do an investigation of the room? I would want to investigate to see if like any body parts were removed from Posey, and then also understand if there's any like track. I mean, I know we found plasmoid, but if there's anything else to find in the room, but specifically
Yeah,
if
did
she's
we-
missing body parts.
Yeah, did we also ever resolve that check to see if she had the same tattoo?
Oh yeah, that too.
No, but we'll wrap that into this perception or investigation check here.
Okay.
I'll give help to anyone who wants it.
I will do a perception. I would appreciate the help if
You've probably got a
That's,
higher bonus. I'll just do an investigation. So,
Okay.
the help. Yeah, I got a 13 investigation.
Nice.
Ugh, balls.
Roll again. You're getting
Roll the
getting assistance.
No, that was with advantage.
Oh.
I rolled a 4 and a 2.
Fudge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can just right click in D&D Beyond and roll with
Well,
advantage.
you fancy, huh? All right. Well, Polly, you were paying attention, where your fellow party members just kind of like do 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 do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was lost in the like dead on dead on dead on dead.
Yeah.
Eye for an eye bit.
Liam, though, you do take a look, and you don't see any visible tattoos.
Okay.
And for 13, Polly, as you glance around the room, you can tell like this woman is, or was, I should say, obsessed with wealth.
Okay.
She could have sold these, like even just a fraction of these things. She could have sold them and got a much nicer place. She was clearly like hanging on to these like bits of finery.
Okay.
You can also see like there's a little more of that plasmoid goo, if you will, on the windowsill.
And is it the windowsill that looks to the well?
It sure is.
Okay. All right. So we've confirmed that.
There's also another odd detail here. There, like in all this, there's like gold, silver, like very nice things. Also, probably a lot of things that are like, for lack of a better word, like kind of nouveau riche. They look a lot nicer than they actually are. Just-
Yep.
But there is like this there's like a chisel and a lead bar in the corner. It doesn't really fit with the rest of the aesthetic.
Interesting. Okay. Do they appear like they were used at all recently?
Hard to say. I mean, because
Okay.
a chisel's not gonna leave a lead's so soft a metal that this lead bar you see is like intact. Like that one hasn't been fussed with at all with the chisel, but the chisel wouldn't leave any evidence of if it had been used previously.
Okay.
And just so I'm understanding the language correctly, when you say lead bar, like a pole bar or like a ingot?
Sorry, like a small ingot.
Okay.
Curious. All right.
Is there anything? Can I look at the bar? Is there anything chiseled into it?
There is not.
Okay.
Should we go find Hux?
Let us find Hux. Yes.
Let's go.
I'm going to take the bar and the chisel just for.
Yes. Let us keep collecting evidence. This is good.
Yeah. All right. You make your way over to the Hux house. It's not a lot bigger than Posey's kind of shack here, but it's better kept up on the outside, but does not have any like finery around it. And outside, you see there's a man who you kind of presume to be Hux, playing with a dog, while there's a woman with a baby kind of like sitting on the threshold, watching and chatting.
Liam, would you like to spearhead this, or would you perhaps want one of us?
I don't mind.
Liam will approach.
Excuse me, I'm looking to speak to Hux.
I'm Hux. What can I do for you?
Perhaps we could talk away from your family. I'm going to ask questions about dead people.
I incredible. Do you have the lead bar out while you do this?
I don't currently know.
Okay. He like kind of pales when you say dead people, and like looks back at his wife. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's take a walk over. I'll be right back, honey. And he like kind of leads you guys around back to like a small kind of like family garden in the back. He sits down like a stone bench there. Is there something that I can do for you? I don't know a lot of dead people.
Yeah, no one does.
We were inquiring about the death of the assailant of the blacksmith. He died in his cell, and when we went to speak to the blacksmith, she mentioned he had said something about her calling someone a leech, which she believes only could refer to you.
You see his face goes through like a startling series of hues. Like he blanches pale, and then he flushes, and then he almost like goes green. And he's a human man, so this is very odd. He's not a chameleon where we'd be like, oh, that's fine.
Are you part of plasmoid? What is this? Why does your face change?
Listen, I didn't know what that psycho was gonna do. Okay, I thought he was just gonna talk to her for me. I had nothing. Listen. I did not tell Borin to do that. Okay, that is not.
So you knew this person?
We had met. And he like again looks green, like he's going to vomit. Like, please don't. Please, like I can't go to space prison. Please.
Just tell us what you know, man. It's okay.
Don't worry too much about it, Hux. We are just here trying to solve the greater issue.
Yeah. So, yeah.
People already think you're too much of a burden. We wouldn't want to put more tax dollars towards you anyway.
Not my space taxes. So I've gone to Georgiana like a few times, kind of like looking at the ground as he says it, and I need a new set of equipment. That's the only thing standing between me and getting back on my feet. I'll be doing just fine. And I thought, maybe if I brought my wife, my kids, she can see kind of what's at stake here. Maybe she would help me out. But she didn't. And now his face gets a new hue. He gets a little bit red with anger. It's not fair. All I needed was a pick. She makes like 10 pickaxes a day. All she needed to do was loan me one. But no. Instead, she called me a leech. And then like quickly he goes pale again. But I didn't want to hurt her. I just wanted new equipment. He's looking down at the same spot on the ground. I just needed a little help. I wanted her to eat her words. I just thought Borin was gonna scare her.
So did you hire him?
He did it for free.
Wow.
All I had to do, when someone's wronged you, you just have to You have to write it in lead and bury it under the earth, and justice will come with fury. I just didn't think it would be like this.
You mean like this? And at that point, I'll pull out the lead bar.
He actually vomits at that point.
Oh man.
That is just truly disgusting. It got some a little bit on me, and I can taste that just on my foot. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean it.
Oh, Polly, it's melding with you.
Yeah.
It's going inside.
It's making you
Only I could
stronger.
push it out.
DM, is this like a saying? Like this is like if you follow fury, this is like a thing?
Make me a religion check with advantage here, as you are a cleric.
Yeah, what did he say? Justice comes with fury?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said write it in lead, bury it in the earth, justice will come in fury. 18.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like almost like a not quite an old wives' tale, but like it's almost like a folk saying, right? But it seems to be the kind of folk saying that is true. As you like watch him, as he's like distraught, he digs into the earth of his like vegetable patch here, and he pulls out a lead bar, not nearly as new or pristine as the one you found in Posey's, and it just says, "Make her eat her words."
Whoa.
So, Boren just appeared to you, offering to help.
Yeah, he said he'd make it right. He said it would be poetic justice.
We're gonna need to take that into evidence.
Yeah, just please don't tell Imelda. Don't tell my wife. Please.
We will certainly see, Hux, but at the moment, do not leave town.
Yeah, what is that, like third-degree murder?
There's a third degree of murder?
I don't know.
Full
There are
man.
17 to
There are
be
17
exact.
degrees of murder.
Yes, by wild space laws, it gets quite complicated.
Yes, you can do truly heinous things in the void.
Yes. And no one can hear
Side
you
question. Question for anyone, including the DM. As a mining colony, how accessible are lead bars?
Pretty. It's used in a lot of the machinery. So he probably just pulled that out of the mining site.
So literally anybody with a perceived wrongdoing could do this very easily.
They could. It's the kind of like folk wisdom that's like a little obscure. It's the kind of
Sure.
thing that you would like, to give like a modern example, that you might say, like, not this exactly, but like it's the kind of like you like say something in college and like no one knows what you're talking about, but you're like, no, everyone knows this. But these mining colonies, people come from all over. No one's from Blackrise.
Sure. So
Um,
yeah, like a few people actually have that knowledge. Okay.
Is it kind of like the look in the mirror, say the name 3
Bloody
times
Mary.
kind of thing? Like
Yeah.
similar
Yeah.
to that. Like everybody knows about it, but it's like, oh, it's a childish thing. Like, why would you ever do that? More.
I would say it's almost like a little more obscure.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like invoking the Maryland Goat Man to kill your enemies.
Okay.
No one outside of like
yes.
3 counties knows that reference. And if you
Sure.
do, hit the Discord.
All right.
It's very real, but only for a small selection of people. And even of those people who like know it, most of them probably don't think it's real.
Got it. Hux, was there perhaps any chance that you saw Borin any time in town before this, or did they suddenly appear as a stranger to you?
No, he just kind of appeared. I met him. He showed up at my house, and we talked over at the Dragon Inn. And he said he had already done a little justice, and he was interested in doing a little more.
Very curious.
And you know a bit of this superstition, Frank, clearly, because you capitalized on it.
Yeah.
Is there any part of this superstition that leaves the justiciar dead after their revenge is taken.
No, I can't imagine that unless that was somehow poetic, but that doesn't make sense. I don't. And you have to be pretty tough to take out Boren. He's a pretty serious customer.
He drowned on slime.
And Polly's just like...
I must say, he looks at Polly and, like, blanches again.
That wasn't a threat. It's actually unrelated, but we thought that too for a second.
It is just the way I am.
Anyway, I think we've gotten all we can from you. Thank you for your time. Don't leave town.
I can't. It's too expensive.
So sorry, but yes, curious. Friends, where do we think we should head next? Is it safe to say we should head into the sewers to investigate what could be laying down there, or do we have another individual we should question?
I think we have grasped much of what is going on here. The large mystery is why the people carrying out the justice are mysteriously dying. So the sewers make sense.
Is it conceivable that Boren did the deeds for against Evelyn and the husband, and then oh my god, I'm mixing up people now. So
Posey was the ex-wife.
Yeah, so he did the deed for Posey, and then he did the blacksmith, and then while locked into... Wait, how did he get caught again?
He got caught cutting out Georgiana's tongue.
That's right, he got caught in the act.
Yeah, and we don't know who actually
Did
the
hard
yeah,
part. Okay.
the big plot hole here is actually, did Evelyn actually kill her own husband, and why? Like, that is the one part that we have not unraveled yet.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think it to me it sounds like just logically, like, why would she kill her husband and make it so obvious on her
Sure.
wedding day, everyone's around? I just don't think that's what happened.
Hmm.
I think more likely somebody killed her husband because he was the one doing both Evelyn and Posey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be this plasmoid is like the actual person of Fury, and it was like maybe Boren was pretending to be like a stand-in, and they were like, no, this isn't, you're not the one to do this, and so it's like trying to tie things up or something.
Yeah, there's also thing worth remembering, like, no one actually saw Evelyn commit the deed. She just
Had the
was
heart.
found at the crime scene with the heart, and that is the account of Applegate.
Sam, do you have Speak with Dead?
No.
Ooh,
Damn it.
That's the third level spell.
Yeah.
baby.
Bummer. Okay.
So actually, that's actually a very important fact. Like, sorry, DM, remind us. Did Vincent and Sten, did they walk in on the crime scene with Evelyn, or were they just told what happened by Applegate, who had walked in on it?
They were told by Applegate.
So Applegate is actually the only one that saw what happened in that room.
I don't think he saw what happened. He saw the aftermath.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He is the only one that has, like, a first-person account, and everybody else is just getting their information from him.
True.
You think he's lying?
I don't know what to think. It's just convenient that he is the only one that knows what happened, and he would definitely be in a position to protect his son. It would look bad
Well-
for the family.
But his son died, so how did he protect
Sure.
his son?
Well, protect
Sure,
the
but-
image. The
well,
reputation.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, he would be in the position to say that his son did nothing wrong and he was wronged by his wife,
Got it. Got it.
rather than saying anything incriminating.
Well, do we want to do some kind of investigation around his house to see if he buried any kind of lead or something? Or do we want to just go grill him? Or do we want to go in the sewer?
If we go grill him, we could double up on it. Detect thoughts, zone of truth.
We very well could.
You have those available and just weren't saying anything.
Well, everyone was being pretty truthful. I thought it was okay.
Let us grill Applegate very quickly. We will see if we even need the spells. Perhaps we can convince him and, like, poly changes into some darker colors and whatnot. Let's go see Applegate real quick.
And then we can go to the sewer, because I know Polly is very excited about that.
I'm just... clearly, there are a lot of signs there. Perhaps whoever this plasmoid did isn't even a killer. They could be coincidence. Who knows?
Yeah.
Didn't you say it was poisonous?
In the sewer, yes, but I am resistant to that as well. So I hope you can stand to it.
But I'm fine, so get over it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's go grilling over.
Yeah, we're returned to Applegate
Absolutely.
Mansion.
Yeah, you hustle over to the Applegate Mansion, and when you arrive, you actually hear like some screaming, and a couple of the household servants come running out the door.
Whoa.
Let's get the fuck in there. Where's the screaming
Hey, are you
coming
okay?
from?
What has happened?
Someone's attacking old man Applegate.
What?
Ooh.
Oh.
Where is he? What room is he in?
The plot thickens.
And they point up to the room where you last saw him, like just like staring forlornly out the window. And you see him just like, or see someone like a shape just like dart by, followed by something else.
Go, go,
Let's
go,
go.
go, go!
Can I use Expedient? I'm gonna cast Expeditious Retreat or Expeditious Retreat to give myself extra movement speed and like zoom the fuck up there as fast as I possibly can.
How
Absolutely.
big are the windows? Do they look like a person could enter through them?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, can I use my 50 feet of movement and monk shit to just
Jesus.
like scale the side and get in?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna throw you guys over onto the Applegate Manor map.
Hey!
Nice.
So we have a very fast plasmoid, and I assume a fairy coming in the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And-
I would fly in through the window with the
All
monk.
right. Then let me go ahead and unveil our area of opportunity here. The sitting room. You see two figures as you've been in here before, and you guys pop through the windows here. Not my plasmoid friend, but my fairy friend and our monk friend. You pop through the window and you see Mr. Applegate is in the corner by the mantle, his back against the empty fire grate, like sweating and like, oh, well, I gotta get out of here. And in front of him, the bodyguard who's with him before, is this like hulking human figure, and who is just like dragging their axe against the ground. They are sopping wet.
Oh shit.
And it looks like they've been taking several swings and just been missing. And I need you all to roll for initiative. So, acting first is our dear friend Liam. You bust through this window, your fairy companion at your ear, and you see this scene in front of you. Mr. Applegate is against the wall, and this unnamed but hulking figure is kind of on the other side of these chairs right here.
Okay. Liam is going to vault over the chairs to be face to face with this individual. I know we all want to kill the rich white man, but perhaps we wait until we interrogate him. And he's gonna go ahead and make a quarterstaff attack on this. Oh, that's a daggone
Whoa.
natural
That's
one.
a natural one.
Shoot.
You swing, and this like slopping wet individual like zombie dodges, like just like lurches backwards and evades your staff completely.
Oh, well that's rather embarrassing as an opening salvo.
Mhm.
And you actually watch the mask that takes most of his face is actually part of his face. It like melds into his head and then comes back out, and it is entirely the tragedy mask.
Yo.
Oh my.
Cool.
And I'm going to go ahead and flurry of blows.
That's nice.
And I'm going to substitute one of those attacks as a hand of harm attack.
Hell yeah.
So I need to make an unarmed strike first. Come on, do the thing. Roll better. Jesus Christ. Does a 10 hit?
Unfortunately, a 10 does not hit.
Okay. All right. Second attack. All right. How about a 15?
A 15 certainly does hit.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. So that's gonna be. All right. So it's gonna be 7 points of bludgeoning, and then there is additional necrotic damage with the hand of harm. So another 4 necrotic damage on top.
All right. A heavy hit. 11 points of total damage. Nice job.
All right, and that is yeah, that was action, bonus action. Yeah, that is my turn.
Excellent. That takes us over to our dear friend Polly. What you gonna do?
Each one of these squares is 5 feet.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm like in the foyer, so I'm going to move 5 feet diagonally to the east to get to the foot of these stairs, and I'm gonna move another 5, 10, 15, 20 over to the door. What kind of action is it? Is the door open or closed?
The door will be open right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna step just inside so I can see the hulking gentleman, and I need them to make an intelligence saving throw, please.
Ooh, not their strong suit, my friend. Alrighty, so that is a 17 minus 1 is a 16.
Dang it, they do in fact pass. And so they are free of my mind sliver.
Ooh.
I do imagine when Polly's moving, especially under the effects of Expeditious Retreat, that they almost look like the trajectory of like a bouncy ball, where it's just like just arcs moving, bouncing from place to place. So they're now once again kind of semi-formed in the doorway, and they're kind of taking a blocking position now. And Polly is like, "There is no escaping, friend. You best give up now while you can. Come out from within that body." And that is my turn.
Excellent. That takes us to our hulking figure, who is squared up against Mr. Liam, and is going to take a swing with their great axe.
Oh no.
They're going to do so
I'm in danger.
recklessly.
Oh dear.
Oh, beans.
I'm in danger.
That is an 18 to hit there.
That is enough.
There goes the monk. There goes the monk.
That's a heavy. That's 10 on the die. Plus 3 for strength. That is 13 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, that hurts.
Damn.
That hurts real bad, y'all.
And as this like creature it hacks into you, and like it hacks like across your body, and then just like thuds into the floor with the axe and kind of wrenches it free. And you look up, this thing again, sopping wet, eyes rolled back, just like lumbering towards you. And that does take us to our fairy friend's turn. Jib, what you got?
Oh, this looks really bad.
I agree.
I'm gonna attack with a 2nd level guiding bolt.
Oh shoot! All right, big guns out. See what you got.
Nat 1.
Oh,
2 in a row. Oh,
with a 2nd level.
brutal.
That's brutal. That's
And I want to fly up to be out of range, like toward the ceiling.
Absolutely, yeah. Those ears flap, and your green furry body goes up.
Yeah, and then I think I will, no, that's it for me, that's it.
Excellent. That takes us to Claude Applegate here, who's seeing that the creature's ire is not on him at this very moment, is going to move down to the other side of the room and take the dodge action. And that takes us back to Mr. Swirlstaff.
Everybody Stay out of the way of the great axe. I am in a lot of pain.
Oh man.
And yep, we're just gonna make. Oh, actually, real quick, I'm going to pull. He like rolls the hood just a little bit, and it appears on the forefront of the tragedy mask. There is a tattoo that reveals itself of these like sprawling tentacles that encircle the outside of his face. And he is going to use grasping tendrils. So can you go ahead and make a DC 14 strength check?
Ooh, all right. Let's see what we got here. A 4 even plus a 3 is only a 7. What does this grasping thing do?
So tentacles explode out from like his forehead and just tangle all around this thing. So right now it is considered grappled, and it is going to take 3d6 points of force damage.
Nice.
Dang.
Solid. So 12 points of force damage. And then I am going to bonus action patient defense.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And that'll do it for me.
Nice.
So it is now grappled. It can, real quick, it can try to break out of the grapple. Yeah, so as an action, it can escape the grapple by succeeding on a DC 14 strength, athletics, or acrobatics check.
Excellent. All right, first of all, Brennan, your character's face is all kinds of messed up.
Yes.
The way
It's
you
all-
think terrifies me.
It's all in the face, baby.
This is all in the face. That's the money. There. Woo. So your tendrils whip out from around your mask and like encircle this being and like squeeze them, crushing them with this like big wallop of force damage. And the only noise this creature makes is just the sloughing of ooze coming out of its mouth and nostrils, like splashing against the floor as you begin to crush this physical form with your.
Squeeze him like a Go-Gurt tube.
Yuck.
Nice.
Polly, save me from that, please.
Does this ooze that's coming out of this figure appear to be moving at all, or is it just ooze?
I am so glad you asked. It super is. It's starting to coalesce in like a sentient fashion as it oozes out of this this human puppet is wielding.
Cool. Okay. Interesting. Give me a moment here because that changes some things here. Or does it? I'm just checking my meta magic here. Okay. So on the ooze, I want to cast Ray of Frost. I have a +7 to hit, so let's hope this works. So an 18 to hit this ooze.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's gonna be 1d8 damage. You take 4 points of cold damage, and their speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Woo!
So I want to slow down this ooze. It ain't getting anywhere.
Hell yeah. All right. Anything else on your turn there, Bodo?
No, I'm gonna hold off and see how this develops before I start busting out anything massive.
Excellent. Then I'm gonna roll to our creature's turn, and they are going to attempt to break that coiling grasp. What did you say the DC was for that?
It's the same DC 14, and they can either use athletics or acrobatics.
Okay, they are going to attempt with... Actually, they're going to do acrobatics. So here's my d20 roll. That's a 15.
Ooh, yep, that'll do it.
Damn.
I'll do it plus 4. And the way I'll describe this is, instead of simply like swiggling out, all of a sudden this like humid form, like almost like vomits out this stream of ooze, that oozes out and starts to slide towards Claude Applegate.
Snap.
As like, and you look back and this like human form is like slumping now in your coils, and it is a shriveled husk of this once burly man.
Yep, looks familiar.
Let's put this fucker in the ground.
A wise man once said, yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is then going to use its life leech ability on
Oh my
Claude
God.
Applegate,
Whoa.
who must attempt a dexterity saving throw with his commoner stat block.
Oh no.
Hella dexterous.
Oh, yeah.
Any reactions?
Not bad.
He's a spry son of a bitch. The DC is
Hey.
13.
Nice.
Our boy, like, ah! And you hear like this reverberation coming from this ooze. Like it has no real mouth or face. You can't escape. I didn't kill your son, but I will kill you. And that's their turn.
How very curious.
Curiouser and curiouser. And that takes us over to Yon Jib.
All right. Jib is like flying up in the top of the ceiling. I'm going to bonus action. I want to cast Sanctuary on Claude.
Nice.
Ooh.
Good move.
Very strong. Can you read that description real quick?
Yeah, ward a creature within range against attack within 30 feet. Until the spell ends, 1 minute, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a whiz save. And then on a failed save, they have to choose a new target or lose the attack or spell.
Cool.
It doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects. But if Claude attacks, then he's no longer warded.
Excellent. All right, and that's your bonus action. What is your
Correct.
action?
For my action, I want to cast a cantrip, Word of Radiance. I have to be within... sorry, this is a new one for me. It says... that I can see within 5 feet. So to me, that sounds like a touch spell.
It's a multiple touch spell, so it's almost like an area effect centered on you.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like if everybody gathered around you kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's a kumbaya circle.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at, but I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at the. So it's just the one guy now, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not the grasping vine thing. Okay.
Yeah. The humanoid husk has been discarded, and the oozy nature has been revealed.
Okay, so Jib's up in the corner of the room, like flying really high, and then leave him alone. And I cast Sanctuary, and then I fire my crossbow for a 23 damage.
Ooh, that will
Hell
certainly
yeah.
hit. Roll that big boy damage.
Oops. 9 piercing.
Nice.
Nice shot. Our dead-eyed fairy friend rains down a little bit of pain from the ceiling.
And DM, real quick, so this person that was being puppeteered, you said they look like a shriveled husk now. Is that much like Evelyn did in the cell?
It is a lot like Evelyn. It's a little bit less extreme, though. Evelyn was like fully husked out. This one, like, there's still some liquid left in this man's body.
More like Warren.
Yeah. And a little bit more, because he also looks like he's like sopping wet, like Bourne was.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But like whatever was inside of him, not only it looks like might have maybe drowned him and was puppeting, but also took a little bit of him with it.
Curious.
All right. That takes us to Mr. Applegate, who does not have a lot of great options here.
Yeah, the door's kind of blocked.
He is going to. Yeah, I think he'll dodge. I think you're right. Because if he takes opportunity attack, he'll probably die. So yeah, he will stay right where he is, and hope his new friends save him. Liam, the action is yours.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead. I mean, it's so hard to tell where this thing is freaking liquid. Does it look like it's taking on damage at all, or does it look like everything that we did was sort of put on the body?
So when Jib shot it with the crossbow, it definitely like a chunk of ooze definitely like broke off from the rest of it. It's hard to really say how much the damage affected because you couldn't see it while it was inside the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So you wouldn't really have a perspective on that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Yep. I'm just going to close that gap again, and just go to town on it.
Absolutely.
Quarterstaff attack to start. Let's see what that shakes up at. 18 looks like.
That's a hit.
Okay. Ugh. Minimum damage.
Oofda.
So 5 bludgeoning damage there. Do I use... I don't know if I want to blow all my key points right away unless we're fine with chilling out here afterwards. But, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go for another flurry of blows. We want to probably put this down as quickly as possible.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and make 2 more unarmed strikes. 12 probably doesn't do it.
That 12 does not hit.
Okay, second. 9.
Ooh.
So that's the turn, folks.
Yeah, you like lively step between the chairs. You smack it with your quarterstaff, but as you go to like punch at it and kick at it, it is just like this like undulating tendril of ooze that just seems to avoid your assaults. But that brings us to Polly's turn. What you got?
All right. I'm just... All right. Because I'm the least adept at spellcasters amongst all of us. If I use Quickened, right, I can use that on a cantrip to do it as a bonus action, then I can do a regular spell as an action,
Well, so-
or reverse.
So you
exactly
can-
so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So, Quicken Metamagic to cast Mind Sliver. I need you to make a DC 15 Intelligence saving throw for the creature, please.
All right, and this is a flat roll for our slippery friend, and that's an 18. My goodness.
Okay. All right. Well, bummer that didn't work because immediately Polly is already casting another spell as a series of dark, sinister voices start reaching out for them. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw now.
All right.
I was hoping Mind
Let's
Sliver would
see,
give me a
let's
little
see, let's see.
bonus to them failing on this one. 15
that
exact.
is
Right?
15 exactly.
Okay. So, does that mean they
There's
succeed?
no like
or-
half damage or anything there.
There is half
Yeah,
damage
meets
here.
it, beats it.
Okay. Let's go. And here's a roll, please. So you take 7 points of psychic damage, and you do not feel compulsed to run away from me. But Polly will move 10 feet to kind of get in front of Claude in this creature as best he can and give an opening for Claude to run.
Excellent. All right, let's go to the creature's turn. It doesn't really have eyes, but it looks at you. It's doesn't see a lot of familiar anatomy going on.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And so it attacks Claude again. Again, it's going to force Claude to do a dexterity saving throw against life leech. It's a flat DC 13.
He has to make a whiz save first because it's sanctuary.
Okay. So let me roll again because that roll was going to be Claude. So I will now roll for the creature.
Whiz save DC 13.
Okay. Well,
Whoa!
he crushes
Oh my
that.
gosh.
It's that, and then Claude once again evades him.
Nice.
Let's go.
Claude wants to live. He's like, oh, not today! I can't be the last Applegate. And that takes us.
Aren't you already the last Applegate?
Where? Not if I damn it. And that brings us to Jib.
Okay. Jib is going to... I would like to... golly. These
Clericy things, clericy things.
I want to get... Jib is going to fly over and get within melee. And I want to cast Burning Hands.
Alright, that is a cone effect that I think would also hit Claude.
Oh, I'm not trying to hit Claude.
I think if you move one square to the right,
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
yeah. So yeah, now you're not gonna hit your buddy there.
Okay, let's do that.
Excellent.
So this is a dexterity saving throw.
Excellent.
I feel like they were probably dexterous, but
Well, let's see what you got. Yeah, that's a
14 saves.
All right.
Jesus. We're not
Jib-
catching any breaks.
I know you're really not.
So Jib flies down, like tosses out this like cone of burning hands, and then they're like, "Oh no!" And I will fly back up to the ceiling. I know that's going to incur attack of opportunity.
All right. And let's go ahead and it's gonna kind of just like slam its like whole pseudopod-esque body at you.
Okay.
That is an 18
Oh, yeah,
plus
that
5,
is.
23 to hit.
Jeez.
And that is
Jiminy
a
Cricket.
D10 of damage, and that is 3 plus 3, that's 6 points of bludgeoning.
Woo.
The virtual dice have truly blessed you tonight, Andrew.
They really have. We should use this more often.
Okay. So that's my action. I did some movement. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me.
All right. We get back to Claude. Claude looks up at
I'm
you.
a smarty pants.
He gives you a wink, and then he sprints out the door and receives no attack of opportunity.
Let's go.
As you have taken it. And then he gets almost all the way out of the building. He's just like,
Nice.
Run,
booking
Claude,
it.
run!
And that brings us back to Liam.
Maybe bring the police.
Get Vincent.
No, we've met the police. They're useless.
Damn it.
All right. I really think... Actually, want to look at this. It doesn't say in the description of the tattoo that there are limits to the amount of times I can use it.
It sure doesn't.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and try to grasp this guy again.
All right. So that's another dexterity saving throw from me.
No. So initially...
Oh, that's right. It's a strength check, right?
Hold on. Well, the tattoo... Yes. Yeah, the initial save is just a strength saving throw.
All right. Let's see what our slippery boy can do. That is a 7. He is once again grappled.
Let's go.
Nice.
All right, so he's going to
by
take...
your face. Ugh.
Yes, by my face. And another 12 points of force
Whoa.
damage.
Good
Nice.
job.
That is a big hit. This creature looks greatly reduced by this squeezing.
I give it a squeeze. And it is grappled as well.
All
And
right.
that is my turn.
Excellent. All right, then Polly, the next action is yours.
Jib, do you think it is worth trying to squeeze any answers out of this creature, or should we just put it down?
Can we like? I mean, I'm happy to try, but I think we'd have to get them to stop attacking us, or like, how do you like restrain you?
This is a fair question.
Did anybody happen to bring a jar?
This is a very good point. I have an inkwell. It is 1 ounce.
Yeah.
That is a very good point. That would be kind of fun to try to stuff it. But I don't have anything for that.
Is there anything in the room?
I've got a water skin. I don't know if that's enough.
Maybe.
You
Okay.
could certainly try.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's less than 4 pints of ooze.
I mean, you
it
said it's
can work.
greatly reduced. Is its size a lot smaller?
I think an ooze as it takes damage would like be like sloughing bits of
Okay.
itself. You know what? Yeah. If you want to try to capture it in your wineskin, first of all, you have to describe how you're doing it. And we'll set a DC accordingly.
I don't know how I would get that because it's a small opening to
Yeah.
just like stab it on the head and be like, get in the wineskin.
I mean, I'm currently grappling it. I could try to aid you by like trying to move it and maneuver it, like push it into the.
That's fair. Would you give us a little bit of a boost to that if I try to work something in that angle?
Absolutely. I will, as it is a grappled creature, you can have advantage on the check that we use to sequester this being.
Okay.
Let's do
What's
it.
the check?
I don't. You tell me. How are you gonna meander? Are you just gonna like straight like, woo?
I would imagine it's a mixture of dexterity to try and like keep with its wiggling form and the arms to try and like scoop it into this wineskin in a sense.
Excellent. Yeah. Take a dex check at advantage, and we'll use this creature's armor class as the bar here. So let's see if you can get a 14 or higher.
Okay.
How's your dex, Will?
I have a +2 to my dex.
Okay.
All right.
Could be worse.
Got 2 chances at it.
2 19s.
Oh.
You're not gonna need them.
Wow.
So
beautiful.
a 21 total.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yes, with a quick and decisive action, you bottle and cap your wineskin with this creature inside it, and you can feel it like gyrating, like trying to punch out through it, but it's weakened, and frankly, it's not going anywhere.
We just poke him
Hell
on his
yeah.
ass.
Let's go.
Gotta catch them all.
Let's just start slapping the wineskin on the ground. Now tell us what you know.
Yeah.
What do you work for?
Where is the
And,
Muffin Man?
A few minutes later, like you do, like, or a few moments later, not minutes. So I won't speak to you like that. But Claude, you can hear Claude like going out the front door and like screaming. And you get the idea that there's probably some form of the authorities on their way.
Yeah.
Let us make this quick, then, before we must hand this over to anybody with greater authority than ourselves, no?
Right.
Creature, what have you been doing with these individuals? Why do you attack them so and drain them of their vitality?
They deserve it.
Well, why?
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna just say that without reason.
Such a great
That is just
answer.
foolish.
Well, why?
What do you like? What do you like? Huh?
You should ask it if it works alone or if it is one of a group of creatures such as itself.
That is fair. Well, you just said it, so answer us, please.
Are you just like gonna like ask? Are you applying any? Are you applying any pressure, social or otherwise?
I will apply pain. Yes.
I'm definitely trying to persuade, like, perhaps we can let you out in an area where you could be of much good use if you were to answer some of our questions. You do not want to live in a wineskin the rest of your life, no?
And Sam, were you doing anything?
I think I'm just like helping intimidation wise of like I don't think there's a whole lot I can do, honestly. I think I'm casting a light cantrip at the tip of my finger and like holding it over the thing. Like,
You're just giving them the spotlight.
Yeah.
And while you're socially and perhaps physically giving them the squeeze.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a persuasion or intimidation check at advantage there, Polly.
Okay. My persuasion has 2 points better, so here we go. So
Let's
17
go.
plus 6, 23.
Excellent. This creature responds to your physical and social pressure, as established, and you feel them like almost like calm.
Good.
And then in a slightly gentler voice, because I can't do that one again, it replies, "They ruined my life. All I wanted to do was make Peter happy, and they all took that from me."
What?
Do we know a Peter? I don't think
He's the
Peter was
husband who was
Evelyn's
killed.
husband.
Oh shit, so is this Evelyn then?
You are speaking to Evelyn Applegate, or what's left of her.
Curious.
That doesn't make any sense.
Evelyn, who killed your husband?
Borin killed my husband.
Boring
Cozy.
killed your husband.
Buried a lead bar in her back garden and said that he had ripped out her heart. So he did the same to her. And he waited for us to be married to enact this vengeance, so that justice would be complete. That our ill-fated matrimony, once achieved, would prove her heartbreak true. And that I would be framed for it. Of course, he did not know he'd meet me in that jail cell. He did not know he'd find someone who also wanted revenge. He didn't know until we had talked. And then he offered me a choice. He said he had a way. He had a way that I could make things right. He said I could have revenge. He made a circle in blood, and he ripped the moisture from my body. And then he told me. He told me who killed my husband. He told me it was him. And so I closed that circle. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life. So I took one for Peter, I took one for me. And just to be careful, I was going down the line.
Well, this is good. Did someone write this down, this confession?
Yeah, I got it.
Beautiful, thank you. Should we finish up here today? This was a good work, no?
This is really good. Evelyn, are you like, you have any regrets?
I wish I had been able to kill Claude. He accused me. He believed the false rumors that me and Peter were unfaithful to his first wife.
Yeah, I heard those rumors.
That is
They're
so
not
unfortunate.
true. And I regret I wasn't able to kill Vincent, who jailed me without question. Or Sten, who would not let me go free. And then, I wish I had had a chance to drown all of Blackrise.
Okay, so this woman was wronged, and now she's a psychopath. Should we perhaps give it to Vincent?
You know, I was gonna ask. Perhaps he has like a blender, and we could just like bloop, bloop. Just take care of this really quick.
I think we can consider this this case resolved.
Definitely. I'm just a little worried that like she's gonna escape unless we take care of it ourselves.
So let her out and blast her full of holes.
I think so.
All right, prepare yourselves. I will uncord.
I did not think I would have the chance to be the moral compass, but isn't the lesson of this whole scenario that maybe we shouldn't continuously kill those who have done wrong?
Okay, well, do you have like a way to make her back to human?
No, I think she is trapped in a container. We get a better container, and she goes back to prison.
You think like life imprisonment is the right move here for someone who can literally escape through any crack?
I don't think it is anybody's power to decide who deserves to live and die.
Listen, have you ever seen that movie where it's like the thing inside the jar manages, like an octopus puts its tentacles up and unscrews the jar?
That's why I said we get a better container.
Oh, well, I don't know if I really believe in that.
I don't know if I like how excited you are to kill something.
This is... Look at me. I am Ooze. I do not have full faculty of emotion.
Do you not think we should explore our options before we just decide to kill something that is already apprehended?
Well, I guess we can talk to the authorities, see what they want to do. We will, but perhaps we will get off this shithole before it happens, and then we won't have to worry about it.
Right.
Yes. In a couple of days, it is not our problem anyway.
All right, but if this backfires and we see it in the newspaper, I'm going to tell you.
And I will feel nothing.
Incredible. So you hand over what remains of Evelyn Applegate to the authorities. They are able to go to Georgiana, who, besides being a smith, is also a bit of a glass worker, and she's able to make a glass cube, which they put the entire wineskin in. And over time, as her caustic nature eats through the leather of the skin, she's indeed trapped as a caustic bit of purplish goo within this glass that now sits in the Azure Gauntlet in a room that they have walled up. And the last thing you see is Sten overseeing the novices as they brick by brick wall off this particular chapter of Blackrise. And as we kind of zoom out slowly, we see the Ebony Falcon, the Spelljammer that these three impromptu investigators came in on, eventually take flight and fly away from this grisly scene, away from this tale of love, loss, and revenge, of a caper figured out through, honestly, not what I thought you were going to do. You talk to the people, you connected the dots, you figured it all out. So thank you very much to my wonderful players. Thank you very much for everyone for tuning in.
Let's go,
Andrew.
A huge thanks.
Andrew.
My pleasure, my pleasure. A huge
That was
thanks
so
to
much
all
fun.
of our listeners to make this celebratory one-shot possible, to celebrate our 100th episode, which hopefully you have just listened to. Also, a huge thank you to Seafoot Games and Moonlight Games for the maps, to Tabletop Audio for the lovely surroundings of sound, and through Meadowbrook Games for the module that this is based off, the Drowned Man and the Shriveled Woman, which is available now on DM's Guild, as many fine adventures are. But thank you very much. Have a lovely night, and we'll see you next time.
Ooh-wee! That was a wild ending on that one, but you know what? We're glad you're here. We are rapidly getting close to 100 episodes, and it is great to have you here in the outro. Couple quick things. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. We are publishing all of our episodes out to YouTube so that you can actually watch us playing the game instead of just listening. And then if you want to hop over in our Discord, we've got all sorts of people in there talking about the podcast. And, you know, we're also talking about Baldur's Gate, because Baldur's Gate is out right now, and we're all loving it. And then we've got maps up in the Discord channel, some extra content with some other things. And if you have questions for us as players, we've got a little channel in there that you could submit for the bonus action segments. So really loving that. We hope to see you there. You can find all of our links at linktree.com/themadnesstable. And I think that's it. So we'll see you next time when...
Madness